Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range. I'm here at WYN in Ecublens in Lausanne with something I've been wanting to find in Switzerland for a long time. This is a Schmeisser straight pull AR-15. Now the background of this type of firearm is basically goes back to the centre-fire semi-auto rifle ban in the UK. I think they were probably the first to do this kind of thing. So in 1988 there was a new amendment to the Firearms Act passed which banned all centre-fire semi-auto rifles, and a number of years later, probably somewhere in the mid-90s, people started building AR-15s from the ground up without gas, so with their boilers cut off. But not cut off because you weren't allowed to do that, you had to build it from scratch. You couldn't take one and block the gas system. You can in certain other countries, but in the UK it's a bit like the US, once a machine gun, always a machine gun thing. In the UK it's once a semi-auto, always a semi-auto, even if it's no longer. So they're built from scratch. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here and talk about edge cases because there's, I think it was called the parts bin case, where building, I think they were M1 carbines up from parts bin parts was deemed okay, and I believe now they're at least tolerating ones down converted in foreign, so long as they were imported into the UK in that configuration. Anyway, this is Schmeisser's version of it, and what's interesting for Schmeisser is not only to sell into the UK market, which is all sort of semi-cottage industry, it's small manufacturers and they're quite expensive. Schmeisser's a fairly large German manufacturer now, seem to be doing good work. They seem to be doing some work with our friends Polar Tactical, so I'm wearing an appropriate t-shirt here. And this is their version. In Switzerland, you can buy this without a permit if you're a permanent resident or Swiss citizen and live here. In Austria, I believe they are entirely off ticket, and in Germany, they're much easier to get a permit for than an actual semi-auto. So basically, it's an AR with no gas port. I had a look inside this, and this one doesn't even have the hole for a gas port. A lot of the UK ones do because they're just made up on standard actions. Let me show you its features. So, if you'd like to bring the camera in a bit. First of all, I'm not really interested in the bits that are common to various other ARs, but let's have a look at the handle here. Now, this does have a normal T handle, but it's got this handle here, and the positioning of this is quite different from the UK ones, typically. Now, a lot of the ones in the UK, the cocking handle's around there, and people tend to grab it with their forefinger and thumb. And the question for me was whether this position here was going to be manipulable without bringing your thumb round and cocking it like a crappy Cadet GP like that. And the answer is, with my finger length, yes, I can. So, this one has a telescoping butt. Big question for me was, could I go click? And the answer is yes. I'm quite pleased with that. There's a 9mm version for the UK market which has a dog leg in the handle, so it might be worth seeing if we can get that to try out, just to bring it a little bit back, because I can do it, but it's not ideal. Now, other features. So this has an ambidex bolt hold open, which is a bit irrelevant, it being ambidex on a straight pull. Ambidex mag release, 45-degree safety. We've got a double-sided swanky Schmeisser charging handle, adjustable plastic M4 type butt. The sights that have come with this, they're polymer, but they seem pretty sturdy. Two different apertures. I think I'd trust these, but even I am getting with the future now and going over to red dots and optics and things. The barrel is fairly chunky. I was surprised quite how chunky, but it balances quite well, and it's not as heavy as I expected. The foreend's quite slim, and then we've got a flash suppressor at the front. It comes with the case, a 10-round magazine because Germany, a bore snake, a cleaning kit, a safety flag, and a manual, but we don't worry about that. So what I thought we'd do is take it apart, and like any AR, you want to cock it to make sure the hammer's back. Standard, pop the 2 pins. This one doesn't seem to want to hinge particularly well. You do need a little tool to remove the cocking handle. If you'd just like to come in there close, we push that in. The cocking handle pops out. There were problems with the first gen one of these, which seems to have been cast. This is machined, although it is in 2 parts with a detent. And then if we look at the bolt carrier group, we've got a ruddy grey hole in the side, which is what the cocking handle fits into, and it's otherwise standard. The gas key is present and goes all the way through. It is bored through. The bolt is standard. There's no point in taking it out. It's a standard bolt. They just haven't put the gas rings in because not needed, and everything else is just, well, it's an AR-15. Although looking at it here, I hadn't spotted that before. There's a lug missing. You're finding out live with me. We took this apart earlier and hadn't noticed that. The question is there also a corresponding missing thing in the receiver just to stop you putting a normal bolt in? And I don't think so. But yes, our 7-lug bolt has become a symmetrical 6-lug bolt, which is interesting. I've not seen any reasoning as to why they've done that, and that was a bit of a surprise. It used to be the case with, I think it was the HK SL8. They missed out a locking lug and missed out the corresponding opening in the barrel extension so that you couldn't put a military one in. But this appears to be a completely standard M4 barrel extension. So putting it back together is mostly boring. Ooh. Because this doesn't have gas rings in it, it flops around a bit more, which is good for a straight pull. I wonder if they didn't miss out the lugs just to make it symmetrical, because symmetrical must be better for reason. And then you can actually pop that back in just with your finger. You don't need a tool for that. And then back together it goes. So there you go. In Switzerland, these are retailing for just under 2,000 Swiss francs, which is about just under 2,000 US dollars at the moment. Compared to the small production UK ones, that is cheap, and apparently they are selling like hotcakes in the UK because they're cheaper than the custom ones. But you're getting an off-the-shelf product. But from what I've seen from this, the quality, build quality is good. The upper to lower fit is Germanically excellent, similar to my Oberland arms, which I've had for a long time. And overall, it's highly, highly tempting. So, anyway, I hope it was at least vaguely interesting. If you like this kind of thing, please consider supporting us on Patreon. If not, that's fine. Just please like and subscribe, share our videos, and see you again sometime. Bye.